recognize other dignitaries so that we can save our time to our fourth year now. And I will move to the next thing on our agenda, and that is the welcome address. And that is going to be done by our GO, like I said. And that is again our father, Alhaji Ibrahim Sadu. Join me in the offering.
As a father, standing here today, filled me with deep emotion. This book is more than images and words. It is a powerful story of courage, perseverance, and indomitable human spirit in its pages. My daughter sheds light on the complexity of living with cerebral palsy and obsessive compulsive disorder, while showcasing her extraordinary achievements and proving that adversity can indeed lead back to greatness. Our story is not one of sorrow alone, but one of triumph, grace, and hope. Through her words, she invites us to reflect on the theme of resilience, adaptation, and breakthrough, encouraging a deep understanding and appreciation of diversity in the human experience. My daughter's journey is one of overcoming obstacles, challenging perfection, and inspiring others. Our graduation from adversity to achievement stands as a beacon of hope for us all. Parenting a child with disability is not easy. It comes with moments of doubt, worry, and countless sacrifice. But today, as I look at how far Hanifa has come, the strength she embodies, the strength she has reached, and the life she continues to touch, I can truly say it was all worth it. The struggle, the sleepless night, the sleepless night, the tears, they are payoff in the moment, in the most beautiful way. To every parent, teacher, caregiver here today, I want to say this from my heart. Never give up on any child. With love, patience, and understanding, every child can strive. No matter their challenges, you will not see the result immediately, but keep believing, keep nurturing, and one day it will all make sense. Today's event is not just a book launch. It is a call to awareness, a reminder that people living with cerebral palsy and other disabilities deserve inclusion, compassion, and equal opportunity. Every child is valuable. Every story deserves to be heard. As we celebrate this milestone, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizing team and to everyone who made this day possible. Our guests, speakers, partners, and all who have supported Hanifa along the way. Your presence means more than words can express. So once again, I welcome you all warmly. May today inspire us to see beyond the limitation, to celebrate the beauty of resilience, and to keep believing in the power of every story. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. Bàbá ni bàbá mi, bàbá ni bàbá tí mo ní, òbí lóbí tí mo ní, ẹ má dàgbà darúgbó láyé, kò sí bó ti wù kẹ́pẹ́ tó láyé, ẹ ò ní fojú sunkún ọmọ, ẹ ò ní mọ sáré ọmọ lọ́lá náà bí Muhammada. I will so much appreciate our father. Indeed, it's not easy. It's not easy. We so much appreciate you once again. And on behalf of Anifa Sadu, personally, I want to say thank you, sir. And I want to say thank you, ma'am. We really appreciate you both. May Allah in His infinite mercy reward you abundantly. And may you reap the fruit of your labor. Can somebody say Amen? And may we also reap the fruit of our labor. Amen. Thank you. Sorry, before I hand over the microphone to my wonderful co-MC, I would like to plead with us that we should please put our phones on silent. Please, let's put our phones on silent. It will not really be good for us to be disturbed with different let's put our phones on silent. It will not really be. So please, let's do that. Thank you. And again, please, in case you want to use the gents, for both ladies and for the men, we have the gents, we have the restroom outside. Just step outside the hall, then there's an entrance. Immediately you step out of the hall. So we have the restroom over there. So for your convenience. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Daddy, for that very inspiring speech. I could feel the resilience. I could feel the struggle as a parent. It was so deep for me. Thank you so much, Daddy. May Allah continue to reward and bless you.
Amen.
I'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Somi Fakesi, former Director of Finance, WAEC. Please.
A round of applause for them, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for being here. Your presence is deeply appreciated. Now we move on to one of the most important moments of the day, which is our keynote speech. Delivering the keynote speech is someone whose works continue to inspire and empower many. Her work is a true reflection of courage, impact, and purpose. Mrs. Adenike Oyetunde Lawal is a lawyer dedicated to advancing disability inclusion in Nigeria. She is the founder Amputee United Initiative. She empowers amputees to embrace self-love and speak up for themselves. She has served as the Senior Special Assistant of the Lagos State Governor on Persons with Disability and is currently the General Manager at Lagos State Office of Disability Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, she is not just a leader, she's a beacon of hope, an advocate of equality, a source of inspiration to many across Nigeria. Please be generous with your applause as I welcome to the stage Mrs. Adenike Oyetunde Lawal for her keynote speech. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I have my hair up in a shuku. I'm deliberately taking my time so the laptop can know how beautiful I look this morning. I have my hair up in shuku. I'm wearing a dark lipstick. I'm wearing a long dress that has some beads around it. And color purple is the most prominent color in my outfit, and I'm wearing a black footwear, and I came with a beautiful white bag. Should I continue? I would love to stand on the protocol that has been established, but before I proceed, I would like to say thank you very much, sir. I'm a daddy's girl, and
I think that's what stood out the most for me. Okay, and then she sent very long. You know how Anifa sends those very long explanations that you will not be like, maybe you should cook, let me write the speech so that I will just. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was interesting how I actually met Anifa, and it's a testament to the kind of resilient person that she is. This girl sent me a DM on Instagram. Like, it's a raving. There's no story. I've been raving about my dad since I was like 10. I was such a daddy's girl. My siblings would say to my dad, "Your child." And I'm like, "But you're all my children." I said, "We're all your children, but your child." The one. The one. And so, there are very, very similar stories, and then she would now have the audacity to be reporting her daddy to a daddy's girl. And I'm thinking, they did not tell me that I'll always be on your daddy's side. And daddy, I said, but daddy's right. Yeah, but you're always supporting him. Excuse you? What am I supposed to support? Daddy's stand post every day. I'm always going to be standing with daddies in the room. Is it easy? Is it easy to raise a child with cerebral palsy in this country? I've had a front row seat for 40 years. I've been living with this condition my whole life. In my own case, I was diagnosed at 20 months. In short, no. Let's tell the story well. From the day that I was born, they told my parents that, to be honest, this your child will have problems. Right now, she's still a newborn, so we can't say exactly what the problem will be. But that this child will be normal, forget it. This child is going to have problems. And they even offered my parents what we call euthanasia today, which is medical unaliving, because according to the doctor, my parents already had 3 children. You see, unlike Anfa was the first child, then Kes an only child. My parents had 3 children. They told them, like, in Yoruba, they were like, "Yo, Jane, you're not suffering from the lack of children. You already have a boy, you have 2 girls. If you let this one go, there's nothing. Why keep the one that's going to give you problem?" Obviously. And my dad stood and said to the doctor, "Look, God did not give me this child for this child to die. So whatever it is that you have to do, you better keep my child alive." It was ridiculous. And because, my dad used to crack the joke that I'm his most expensive child, hands down. Because the cost of keeping me alive daily in 1985 was the same cost as a Sheraton executive room daily at that time. And they had to do that for upwards of 10 weeks. That was even before I got home. And then I get home and they are waiting for the problem, because they told you now waiting for the problem. So they're waiting for the problem, they are faithing it, we're Christians, so they're having faith that. And then by the time I'm about 7-8 months old, my grandma, how grandmas seem to know these things, even though they don't have all of the education, but they can. So actually, it wasn't even my grandma. I take that back. It was my great grandma. So it was my mother's grandmother who said to my mother. She called my mother to the side and said, "This child, something is not right." So my mom was like, "Okay." So she keeps quiet. They get to 12 months, I'm still not sitting. So at that point, she goes to my father. It's like my own daughter is not listening. Maybe you that you're a man, you will listen. So she tells him, something is, I have raised enough children to know that something is wrong. Eventually, by the time we get to 20 months and I still can't sit, my mom has to admit that, okay, we have a problem. So go back to the hospital and they tell them, we told you this child was going to have a problem, didn't we? Well, she has cerebral palsy. There's no cure. Take her home. The dismissiveness has been there. There's not. It's still since. So I was really sitting and laughing like, oh, they just went to me yesterday, but they've been dismissing us since. It's not today. You know, just take her home. We told you that she will have problems, so take her home. And then, okay, what can we do? You people said this thing does not have cure. Go and start therapy at Igbobi. Because back then, there was even no other option. The only hospital was Igbobi. Guess what? We lived in Abuyeba. So if you know Lagos, you have to take your child from Abuyeba to Igbobi. How do you make that happen? But you see, when a father says, I'm not giving up, he's not giving up. You see, when I turned 30, my dad took my medical records and he gave them to me. He said, you are now an adult. You can now be a custodian of your medical records. And so I started to flip through. Guess what? If there was any hospital in the southwest of this country that they said knew something, I had the card. By the time I checked, I had 8 hospital cards. Igbobi, UCH. Actually, there was one called Brain and Body, something, neurological something. There's one in Oshogo, there's one in Ilesha, there's one in Ife. Look, I say this to parents all the time. You don't just claim it in Jesus' name. You don't just tap into people's testimonies. You have to do the work. Those of us you see Anifa sitting there, her father put in the work. Her parents put in the work day in day out. If they did not, she wouldn't be where she is. And you know the funny thing? My father was acquiring all these hospital cards. And he was still telling my mother that, look, my child will get an education.
Amen.
This one is not an amen. You know some things are not prayers. If you know the daddies we are talking about, it's a statement. They are not praying. They are telling you pray. How you want to do it? I'm telling my mom, I'm not saying she not take her to clinic for all these people's plenty appointments. So, but my child must go to school. And then one thing that my dad was as committed to as an infant dad was that I was going to get an inclusive education. I was not, they told him, oh, there is a special school. I think it was in my time that Atundalu started. So people told him, they gave him 2 options. Take me to Atundalu and put me there, or take me to Shesha Home in Ibadan and drop me off there. My father, he said he took a day off, visited both places, walked around, came home and said, no, my child will be raised in this house alongside her siblings. If we are thinking that, and the day we have money for chicken, all of us will exist, but should be raised with the same values as the other children in this household. How that's going to happen, I don't exactly know, but we're going to try. And so I went into the same school. I remember starting school in the same school that my siblings had been in. I think still standing from international school in Bafo. My sister was in, I think, primary 4. So my mom would say to her, carry your sister to her class. Because I couldn't walk. I couldn't even sit at this point. I couldn't sit. So obviously I couldn't stand. So obviously I couldn't walk. So my mom would carry, so it's school bag, lunch box, 4 throw pillows. and the child up a flight of stairs. Because if you remember the schools that we went to, nobody was talking about ground floor anything. The classes were upstairs, so up a flight of stairs. And then I remember that we didn't have all these fancy chairs. It was bench, long bench, and so they would use the throw pillows to literally shock me into the seat, and then literally use the bench to hold me there for the school day. And guess what? On top of this, I had selective criticism. They have told my parents I'll be the one that talks for a living now. They would have said it was not. But my dad did not look at the child doing all these things and saying, she's not sitting. She's not, I can't use my hands to do anything. At the very best, I could drag myself on my buttocks a few meters. That was the best I could do. But my parents started me in school anyway. And my dad likes to tell the story that it didn't take one term. One day he got me to school. While they were still trying to package all the packaging, I slid myself out of the car, grabbed onto his leg, and I stood up. This is something they've been trying to do in therapy for years. But all I needed was to see children my age doing it, and I suddenly wanted to do it. So that was the start of I can now try to stand. And I got into, they would say to my parents, oh, she doesn't talk in school. And obviously I couldn't write. So imagine a child that cannot write and is not talking. I don't know whether she knows anything. But then my friends would say to the teacher, but she talks. Like, no, she doesn't. She talks. If you do this debate, does she talk? She doesn't talk. Does she talk? She doesn't talk. But if you ask a question, I knew the answer, and I will make sure you know I knew the answer. Because I'm not going to, the look on my face is going to be like that. So eventually, even the teacher started figuring out, looks like this girl is comprehending or teaching, and she knows the answer. So eventually, they started giving me optional questions. So is it this one or this one or this one? And then I would point to the one that is the right answer, and then they would take it for me. I'll be like, okay, she knows this stuff. Yeah. And then we move on. Of course, at that point, access to learning was found. I was learning. And then I get to university. And they tell me that university is not for people like me. So I should not. And this is me. It's not that I wanted to study, so where am I gonna go? But the other part of the day as I combined with was actually having to navigate university education with a mental illness. Because by the time that I got to 400 levels, I became diagnosed with clinical depression. The kind of clinical depression that had me trying to kill myself multiple times. You know, the kind of, they are literally having to take all sharp objects away from anywhere that you can reach, kind of. You are an adult, but they are actually having to treat you like you are too. They are removing all sharp objects. They are literally baby-proofing the house because you could have yourself. It's the thing where even on over-the-counter medication is now being counted because, you know, dismissal and spiritualization of mental illness in this country. The number of pastors who told me I just needed to have more faith. The people that told me I needed deliverance. You know, the amount of deliverance sessions that were Christian. Let's not go there. The amount of deliverance sessions that were conducted on my head because. However, here I am, right? 2 decades later, I'm standing in front of you. An organization that promotes inclusive education for children like me. Born from my consistent experience with the assumption that I'm supposed to be stupid. And so from my experience, I know that the fact that a child isn't talking, isn't sitting, isn't standing, isn't walking, does not mean that they're not comprehending what they're being told. And there's nothing that hurts me, like parents who buy into the life. Too many parents buy into the life. People tell them, oh, your child cannot, and then they buy into it, and then they come to my office and have the audacity to repeat it to me. Tell another lie. And resilience is
required. Resilience and grit is required to live this life because I'm sure I didn't expect to you. It's not stopping. It's unfortunately like you're going to deal with prejudice, you're going to deal with ignorance, you're going to deal with silly people, you're going to deal with unconscious ignorance, people that don't know better. And then you're going to deal with people that even know better but choose to be ignorant. You're going to have to learn to choose your battles. Every single day. That was laughing because that was teach me that lesson they had me. Always choose your battles every single day. And like Jenica also said, there's still a lot ahead of you. It's a long journey. It's a very long journey. And well done, congratulations. Finally, because I think I said I've done the license, so right now, for me now, it's become kind of second nature. But getting that first book through that process of getting it out, that's a hard. That's a choke, man. So the fact that you're able to get to this end point, I'm incredibly proud of you.
Yeah.
I try not to tell you too much. But I will try to tell you today. It doesn't mean that I will not be tomorrow. I'm proud of you. Well done. Congratulations on the excellent job that you did. Especially with the editing, because you know me. My eye was saying things. I'm sure she wanted to sweat for me at some point. I was constantly seeing things and saying, in fact, chapter, can you come? She said, okay, ma. So, we polish is almost perfection. So, well done for taking feedback like a champ. Well done. And congratulations. And then, Daddy, mommy, thank you. So, we met from our family protection. I know how much hard work, and this girl is noisy. I know. She stopped like that. Like you did our activity on the meeting call. So, thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your consistent support. Thank you for the unwavering support that does not end. Because the truth is, if you're raising a child with cerebral palsy, it's lifelong support. So thank you so much for all you do. And thank you so much for all you are still going to do because I know we share your seat. And most importantly, thank you so much for having me today. And I look, hey, madam. I look, where's the second book? How did I say like in the box? I just wanted to ask. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are really happy to have you. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Tokioma Ajayi, for that history. You gave us, you broke it down. You took it through the days. Honestly, you tried. And I like one thing you said. I want to emphasize on that. You said parents will have the right to accept what they have gotten and come and tell you that they said their children cannot learn. Like how? How do you accept it? If I had accepted it, I wouldn't be standing in front of you here. If Anika had accepted it, she wouldn't be here. If Tokioma had accepted it, she wouldn't be here. We are not accepting it. We are changing the narrative. All right. I'd like to invite Mr. Professor Aki Akini. Akini, sorry for that. I just come from Lagos. Actually, okay. CEO and President of TechCom, and also Provost at anyway, he knows Anika very well, and I'd like to invite him up stage for a 5-minute speech. Talk about Anika's resilience and your journey with the book. Thank you for coming on stage in such a short time. I apologize for your designation, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's just good to have you.
Well, I happen to be a Christian. This is my first opportunity to be in this type of crowd. I feel privileged. But it's not about me. It's about my daughter. And in fact, I proudly call you my daughter. I, I happen to be the provost at Bowen University when I met her. I went for dinner and she was coming out with another lady. I met her at the hallway. I saw she was walking and I decided to go and meet her. And if anyone that knows me, I give her a hug. She actually warned me today not to give her a hug. Then I told her, if anybody condemns you because I hugged you, tell them it's my father. And that's the truth. I later met the parents. Actually, I was going to wear the dress you bought for me, and in fact, today, I looked for it, I couldn't find it. That's what I would have worn. She bought a dress for me. Thank you. Thank you. When I met her story, she came to my office. We shared with one another. This is a first-class candidate. She is a first-class candidate. She worked so hard for it. She said, I'm slow. I cannot write fast. I'm this, sometimes this and that. I had to call the lecturers. I said, from today, you treat her and you give her all the time she needs to finish her exams. She's smart. Well, this is a testament to her smartness. You've done well. Talking about being resilient, very much so. Now, the surprising thing that you guys may not acknowledge is that she went to a Christian school, Bowen University in Iwo. Iwo is an Islamic city, and this is Baptist school. For her to survive all the rigor, the challenges upon her background, and she stood true to her religion. She stood true to Islam. I'm a pastor. I'm an evangelist. I attend Deeper Christian Life Ministry. I'm a Deeper Life person. I respect you, girl. I really respect you. She stood true. We are still friends. Through the time when we left the university, she graduated one of the best students at such an early age. Beautiful. I know you were 19. I remember. I still remember. Because we will talk. I'll visit her. She will visit me. It's amazing. The Lord bless you, and He will continue to bless you.
Amen.
And in fact, I remain your dad. Daddy, with all due respect, sir. Call me anytime. Even when I'm failing, because you always call me, keep calling. We are on this journey together. God bless you. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate our father, Professor Akinyi. God bless you, sir. So now we are going to move to the next thing on our agenda.
The next thing on our agenda is actually a way for us to widen this conversation a bit. We have had a beautiful line of speakers. We have seen the journey. They have put us in the spirit of resilience and in the spirit of courage and fighting against all odds. Thank you so much, all the speakers that stood on the podium today. I strongly appreciate every one of us. But there's a question here. I don't think we truly understand what happens after the diagnosis. What happens beyond the diagnosis. A lot of people have come today, like Toby Lover broke it down. Toby Lover spoke about what really happened beyond the diagnosis. But the thing is, there are questions. How do our parents accept the diagnosis and start to move on after the diagnosis? And don't forget that they are the ones to carry this child from the stage of confusion that the child is to the stage where the child believes in his or herself and is ready to face a world that is not inclusive. Anyway, that is what we'll be having next. We'll be having a panel of people. I have renowned specialists and accomplished leaders in their various sectors. And I'll be calling them on for the panel session. Leading the panel session today is none other person than our author. She is an international award-winning public speaker. Like when I entered the first room, I came in from Abuja to Lagos for this event. I entered the first room and I was like, hey, I want to come tutorial law at one age. I love you so much for your resilience and your strength. And Anifa Sadu is a disability rights advocate, and of course, she's our author through the years. Please have your seat. And next, in no particular order, I'll be calling Mrs. Islamiyat Akinsola. Akinsola. Yeah. She's a trained special needs therapist and a proud mother of a preteen with cerebral palsy. With more than 10 years experience in early childhood education, she is a Montessori trained certified special needs therapist dedicated to creating inclusive learning spaces for where every child feels valued. I'd like to say that she is one person that made me publicly come out and say, I have cerebral palsy and I'm fighting against all odds. She brought me out from my shell. She said, you should be talking. And you would agree with me today. I'm flaunting it now. Thank you so much for being here today. And we have Mrs. Nefisa Ogumbono. She is a clinical psychologist, a trauma-informed care specialist with a passion for promoting mental wellness and resilience, especially amongst women. She holds a master's in clinical psychology from the University of Lagos and a specialized training in trauma-informed care from Jers Institute, California. Through her work, she integrates evidence-based psychology with faith-based approach to help individuals heal, grow, and thrive. Please welcome Mrs. Nefisa Ogumbono to the panel.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nefisa Ogumbono. So I'm going to invite the next person to the panel. That is in person of Mr. Oluwadamilare Ogundairo. Mr. Oluwadamilare Ogundairo is a seasoned communicator whose career spans media, public service, and community leadership. He has over a decade of experience as a freelance radio presenter, media and communications consultant, trainer, and strategist. He is the former general manager of the Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, LASODA. A round of applause for Mr. Oluwadare Ogundairo. Thank you for joining us, sir. The next I will invite here is Mrs. Adebolu, Mr. Adebolu Adejobi. Mr. Adebolu Adejobi is a young change maker with cerebral palsy, committed to advancing the rights of persons with disabilities. He emerged as the best graduating student in the 2021-2022 WAEC examinations at Ajayi Crowther Senior Memorial Grammar School, and is now pursuing a degree in biomedical engineering at Bells University of Technology on a full scholarship awarded by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. We are lucky to have you here, sir. Thank you so much. And lastly, on the panel is Dr. Ayoluwa Oni. Dr. Yolua Oni is a foremost occupational therapist and the provost of Federal School of Occupational Therapy, Oshodi, Lagos. He has contributed significantly to advancing occupational therapy education and practice in Nigeria through curriculum development, mentorship, and advocacy for persons with disabilities. And thank you for joining us, sir. And I would also like to add this, that indeed, Dr. Ayoluwa Oni is a mentor, and I had a bit, sorry, I eavesdropped your chat with Basira when you came in, and she was acknowledging your efforts, that you were the one who really gave her reasons or gave her the true meaning of our diagnosis. We really appreciate you, sir, for the wonderful job you are doing. Thank you for joining us.
All right, our panelists are seated. We want to thank you for being here, and they'll be lending their voices on the theme beyond the diagnosis, building inclusive features through family education and healthcare. Please sit back, relax, and get ready for an engaging session. I promise this is interesting.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. On this panel, we are going to be talking about a very important topic, beyond diagnosis. Because after a diagnosis or after a challenge, life still goes on, right? So what do we do after then, right? So sorry, pardon me, for the sake of inclusion, I am wearing a pink hijab, a light pink hijab, and yeah, a pink gown as well. But the hijab is darker than the gown, and I'm wearing a black boot as well. So, we
time. So I'm always having to politic between the two, so I won't look at, and that's to tell you essentially the role of the mother beyond the diagnosis. The first, should I say, use the word victim, or the first patient actually is mother. She carried that pregnancy for 9 months, and at the end of that 9 months, everybody is waiting eagerly to welcome the bundle of joy. And then there you have it. Something is different about it. So the first victim is the mother. Beyond the diagnosis, the first person that needs to be supported, the first person that needs all the medication against depression, to shore up her mental health is the mother. Because I remember what my own mom was told when I had polio. I'm a polio survivor, mind you. And what my mom was told was permit me to speak Yoruba. So it's always the burden of the mother. So, don't mind all those mommy's girls, all those daddy's girls. Me, more importantly, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Because she's the one to, everything that happened, and Yoruba will say, you understand? So the first victim, in fact, and I think I should be bold to use that word victim, because she's not just, she's dealing with what she has, she's not happy, and the whole society is like, not with her. And most times the husband is actually rather, not also on her side too, So that's why maybe I'll go back to the camp of the daddy's girls and now come back to appreciate those rare fathers. Very rare. Fathers who actually now stood. Because the real first victim in disability is the mother, So beyond diagnosis, accepting odd, you understand? Which start with the mother first, because the child is hardly aware of itself. So you are the odd mother who is now bringing a child with albinism into our family, a child with polio into our family, a child with cerebral palsy into our family. So she's the odd one. So beyond diagnosis, accepting to be the odd one.
Thank you so much. Bolu, you're an incredible young man with cerebral palsy doing a lot of things, right? You are someone who inspires me personally, and like you are like a first class you. Many people have come here today from various walks of life, and for you to be standing here today or seated here today, there must be some, level of resilience and character that you have, right? So I would love to ask you, what has kept you going, right? Because cerebral palsy is the most common childhood disability, right? Mental disorder, right? Yet a lot of people don't know about it. So I want to know what has kept you going, right? What has kept you going?
Okay. Good morning, my mommies and daddy, and brothers and sisters in the house. Yeah, my name is Adebola Adejobi. I'm a young adult proudly living with cerebral palsy. Quote me, I wrote proudly living with cerebral palsy. I'm proud of my disability. Whatever I like, don't come up see. Now, I want to introduce myself. When a pair of specs, looking at some minutes, I'm wearing a t-shirt, a white shirt, wearing my mom's bracelet. I hope she does not see it in my hand. I'm wearing a dark shade of gray panties, looking nice also now that I think about it. And I'm wearing my Nike. A little bit faded, but you know, that's just who I am. I'm not here to please anybody, but to live my own life, to enjoy myself. So, what's my resilience? What has been keeping me going, even in my dark days? I mean, when I really think about it, I think I'm indebted. I'm in debt, like Mujekisi. Because you know what it means to have a mother, have a father, to care for you from the day you are born. And then they told them one day that this your child has disability and he will live with it forever. I mean, now that's a big, for them to say that I'm staying and treating this child the right way. No, I'm in debt. Now, after that, I have teachers, mentors, senior ones I look up to. I'm in debt to make what they want from me to make it a possibility. I'm in debt for all their plans towards me to make it happen. And also I'm in debt to those people that say, oh, you can't do it. I love that word. What you tell me? You can't do it. I am working towards it. I'm going to study in engineering today, a biomedical engineer. Why? I mean, out of all courses I can study and be excellent in it, why do I choose engineering? I choose engineering because it's the hardest thing I can do. To make people say that, no, you can't do it. I want to get that word, no, you can't do it. Because I'm sure that I will excel in it. That's the debt I owe. And then I owe the black debt. I owe it to my younger ones. I owe it to show them that if I can do it, why can't you? That's my life there. So that's what has been giving me motivated. Because I'm here to pay my debt too. I've gone back to Etobi to go and do my 3 month IT.
We are all smiling today, celebrating Wednesday. It's not always easy, right? Especially in the beginning, it can be tough. And be amazing doctors, right? One of the individuals is not here today, Physio Join, is in chapter 5 of the book. I think it's in chapter 5 of the book. And it's someone that, was able to see me beyond who I am. He didn't treat me like a patient. He treated me like an infant, like a child first, right? Until today, even if he doesn't pick us, but I still I feel so indebted to him, right? So and at the same time, we have doctors, right, who have been harsh to me, right, who just dismiss it bit on my dad. You know, young doctors who maybe they are just learning work. I don't know. That's what should they be telling the parents right from the beginning, so that they do not feel, so that the parents, the caregivers with these children do not feel lost in silence like my parents once did. Thank you so much.
Sorry, before the call response, ABJ 272DJ, Abuja, Akura. So if you are the owner, please, your attention is needed. ABJ 272DJ, Abuja, local that is Akura.
Um, are we still in the morning? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It's still morning. Okay. Good morning. I'm Ayoluwa Uni. Um, I have a little afro on my head. Um, I'm dark. I'm putting on a pink shirt, a black blazer, a gray trousers, then a wine tie with a black boot. I want to really appreciate everyone, and I feel honored. Prof, what are you saying, sir? And I feel honored being in our midst this wonderful day. Um, she asked a question now, and it's one of the fundamental things that does happen. When I met Basira, Miss Basira Balogun, she came all the way down to Lagos. Then I was still in Lut, and I saw a lady that was disturbed. You know, haven't gone through this kind of condition, and you are still in doubt. You know, you are not too sure of what you are actually battling with. And I remembered seeing her, and immediately we talked. And when I got to that chapter 5, I said, this enduring person, I could really feel myself, you know, in him, you know, right away. Then whenever she visits Lutz, I remember then I said, she was expecting me to say some things, but I was saying some other things like, our guys in call, such things that you would least expect from a therapist or a doctor alike. And where I'm going is this: there is a saying added that the truth is bitter, and the doctors, the medical practitioners also are human, but some of them, they feel, if I say the truth, and it happens even when we know that it is not professional. You must be honest, and at the same time compassionate and empathy. I was taught that a couple of years ago. Empathy. They said the truth, but the delivery, the way and manner at which we say it, sometimes it makes us look. People will say, our doctors here want daju. Do you understand? But it depends on the way such people are brought up. There should be the human face to it. When you are telling, even when you know that this person will not survive, there is a way you will tell the person, and the person will still look at you and say, I will enjoy this little time I have. But some people are not like that. They will say it in such a way and manner that it will hasten and fasten the thing, like, let me just die now. And it's not the best, actually. So sometimes things like this happens, and it's not actually the best to go about it. You must be honest and tell them this you are going through. Some parents cannot really take it in. A parent came to me to the hospital, and the doctor, in line of operation, we have first time, the physician is the first you meet, and you expect that the physician should be able to say, this is what you are going through, before it gets to the occupational therapist, the physiotherapist, and every other people in the multidisciplinary team setting. Now, some of them, they will skip and push it.
Depression has a name, when you even say you are going through depression, nobody wants to associate with you. You're going through any of those things, nobody wants to associate with you. And I begin to wonder, what's going on? We really need to shift from that, what's wrong with, what can you do? What are your strengths? What are your values? What is that thing you have? This
is just an evidence of what we are talking about. We all carry that strength. But because a part of us, there's something about it that we need to attend to, then everybody sees it as stigma. And we don't even want to reach out. So what do we do about this? We really need to normalize seeking help. Because one thing about all these mental health struggles is, if you don't seek help, it continues like that. And a stage at which you might not have control over it again. So at a point where you notice you're having intrusive thoughts, like she mentioned, or consistent negative thoughts, you don't know how to manage your emotions, the behaviors are, abnormal a bit, you should reach out to a therapist. And it's so easy now. In fact, these days, I don't even think many people walk into my office like that. I do online therapy. I consult for people abroad, people in Nigeria. They don't even have to come. So it's so easy. But we need to normalize this on two levels, individual levels and community levels. On that individual level, we need to shift from that madness or crazy or whatever. You should change the language. Oh, I'm going through a mental health challenge. We should talk about it. And why I'm so passionate about mental health is the fact that even when I was in the uni, when I gained admission, I had a bit of anxiety or so. And I couldn't even give it a name until I was in 100 level psychology class. And then my brother advised me to buy a textbook. Why won't you have a textbook, a psychology student, even though they didn't make it compulsory there, But I still bought the textbook from OAU library then I was reading it, just, the excitement and everything. Okay, let me just read this textbook and see what is there. And then I saw something that looked like what I was going through. I was so happy. I said, hey, I've been saying this, nobody understands. Oh, it's because you just gain admission. You get over what? It's not normal. So I had to learn. In fact, when I was in 100 level, I started learning about CBT. That is how to treat mental health challenge, and which they don't even teach us in 100 level. But because of what I was going through there, I saw it there that CBT can help. And all these people around me, they don't understand. So I started reading books about therapy, CBT and all of the things I learned there, I practiced them, and then I was okay. So even when I graduated BSc, I still have to go for my master's to be able to practice, but then I couldn't wait because so many people were going through mental health problems. So I had to start attending to people. So when my colleagues say, they say, you this lady, you're so passionate about this. We can't even match your energy. Because I understood what was going on then. And I started teaching people, so that is it. We need to normalize the conversation because a lot of us, if I said out of 5 people, 1 person is going through. Now let's count here. That kind of thing. So we need to share our struggles. I've just mentioned mine. And we don't know who here or, anyone out there that has something to say. But this fear of what will they say? So we need to normalize. We need to come out and say, see, at a point in my life, I struggle with depression. And this is what I did. So other people can do the same. So that is what we need to do on that for individual level and all. But for community level, our faith leaders, schools. In fact, we had an outreach some months ago, and if I was also there at House of Assembly Mosque. When we were talking about it, some people were just, pressing their phones, some were just leaving, they don't even understand, but at least we did it anyway. And we attended to some people. So through that outreach, some people, at least they gained clarity. They know, through that, they knew what was wrong. So that is it. Faith leaders, we need to preach, we need to talk about it on the podium. Let others understand what this thing means. That is not bad. There's nothing wrong about it. In schools too. I'm so passionate about these things. In fact, I can't even explain how passionate I am. I go to schools in secondary schools in Lagos just to talk to people about it. But I can't do it alone. So for us here, It's not even compulsory you have to be in the field. If you can learn one or two, it's with my environment. If you are a teacher, talk about it in school. I can remember one secondary school I went to then. I was talking about trauma. And then the students were like, I've been going through this since 5, 6 years ago. And many people reach out that day. So please, we need to do more. We need to talk more about mental. It's just the way you think, the way you behave, and the way you manage your emotion. Then it's not going normal. So you need to do what? You need to attend to it. It's just as simple as that. And if you can manage it early, you can save yourself a lot of stress in the future. So please, let's do well to talk more about mental health, because without mental health, there's no health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I feel like that was really, really fast. And to start to mention the points, that would be like trying to mention a whole lecture. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your practical examples as well. So I'll now come to you, Mommy Demi. I don't know how to be very formal. I call her Mommy Demi, Mr. Lighton. There are two types of schools, the special school and the inclusive school, the inclusive mainstream school. So the inclusive mainstream school is where children with disabilities learn along with children without disabilities. So they learn together, play together, do stuff together, everything. While there is also the special school where they put every child with disability under the same roof, right? And many people know you as a preacher of inclusive education. I don't think personally I will be where I am today. All this bio, what to do this, I don't think I will be where I am today without inclusive education, right? And that is one of what we're talking about today. That we can include persons with disabilities into our society. So Mrs. Olaito, to you, what does inclusive education mean? And why is it worth defined? Some people would say, oh, they can't go, put them in a special school. Why is the inclusive education worth defined? And can you just tell us a brief story that just proves that inclusive education is what we fight and we should actually fight for it?
Okay, thank you. Yes, before I answer your question, there are some people here that I really need to give it to them. Number one, my friend is a Omo and rejected my daughter. They called her snake, that she's going to crawl the glory of the school away. And I didn't tell my husband because he's an emotional person. Uncle can go there to scatter the whole thing. And I can't afford not to work. I wasn't working only because I needed the money. Because I was working to relieve my mental health. Because I can do and undo. How can a child be in one place and I'll be there with her from morning and doing what? So I just need to work. I got a daycare. The mom is just running a daycare beside my house in her flat. So I will take her there and from work, I'll start homeschooling her. Every school I've been to with her, they said they can't take her because she cannot write. And I remember I called and told her when she was 4 that Anthony, my daughter cannot write. And she said, out of all the issues with cerebral palsy, your own is your child cannot write. Can she talk? I said, yes. But what Anthony did not know is she was yet to sit. She just attained neck control very well. She was yet to sit. She could not crawl. She was trying to crawl, and she was yet to walk. And she has speech impairment. But she can talk. In as much as I can understand her, and everybody around her can understand her. So she said, since she can talk, tell them to assess her orally. And I started searching for school again. But one thing I did that my friend told me after the diagnosis was, she said, she asked me, is it that bad? I did not go out with her for, I think, 8 months. The only place we do go to is Oshoji for therapy. I must strap her to back. In fact, I became deaf inside bus. This nowadays children, she must have used certain drugs. That's why her child is like that. I will just be my bus stop. I'm coming down. But the day I started talking, I become an evangelist in buses. You just have to accept my child. She's part of the community. So almost said, Islamia, parent this girl the way you've envisioned that child you want. Just parent her anyhow. And before I had her, firstborn, it always shackles now. I've already planned it. Oh, she's a girl. I have a student that helped me to design twinning, twinning with mommy, blah blah. And I said, how do I? Okay, what are those things that I want for the typical child I was hoping to get from God? Those things are what I would do for her. I started getting her toys, dress her well, and my husband, may God continue to bless him. He's a very supportive person. I didn't bring Derisola here because she's going to steal the spotlight from me. I'm sorry, just kidding. She was sleeping when I left the house. And my husband is the one at home with them now. Even when the family issue, because of course, Omonyo Oleda, a first, you being a first born, and you gave birth to a firstborn with such disability, and he stood. In fact, he chased them away. I was insulted, he was insulted, and he said, if that is what is going to, don't bother to come to my house. Don't bother. And my husband is shamelessly, he's so shameless that anywhere we are going, he will carry the girl. When me, we just carry my bag. Either put her on his shoulder, or just, he must, even at family functions, when they start saying, oh, his wife is pretending she does not want to work, you say, no, she's working, she's feeding my girl. She's working. Or in fact, on our streets, everybody knows that this is Daddy Daring. They only know me online as Mommy Daring. So, yes, inclusive education is possible because as a mother, you won't keep quiet. And there is an adage in Yoruba that says that, I'm sorry for the non-speaking Yoruba, please pardon our manners. When I wanted to register in the first school, I went to the school without her. And I said, I have this girl. She's very smart, intelligent. She has the most infectious smile. She cannot smile without you falling in love with her. And everybody, the school now and the HF, they were curious to meet this 4-year-old that the mother has described so beautifully well. I said, the only thing is, she can't walk, but don't worry, she will walk. And when I brought her, I've already paid, so there's no way they can reject her. So when I eventually registered her in school, I asked for school uniform. They were like, they do conduct assembly. I said, give her a chair. She will sit on the assembly ground. What of if she falls? When she falls, she will stand up. And that is now our slogan in the house. She said, Mommy, when I fall, I will stand up. It was that on the assembly ground that my daughter stood up. It was on the assembly ground that she took the first steps. Close to 5. Imagine if I took her to a special school. I did. And our foundation has already adopted that special school. And for the first time, my daughter, immediately we got to the special school, my daughter said, Anoko. That means I'm not going. And this is me that I didn't tell my husband that I'm taking our child to a special school. When I got home, I was thinking this girl will not report after all. But she started demonstrating everything she saw. She said, somebody did and that's the lighter was coming out. I said, see pots, calling kettle black. She described everything. She said a child is inside a car seat. And he was left there with flies all over. Mommy, I'm not going. Even me, I said that I can't. I would rather stay at home while I continue to homeschool you than going there. Then education is not only the formal one. We have the every education, like family is the first agent of socialization, right? So you have to. Another thing I did is I put my daughter in front of every family members. By fire, by force, you must accept her. Because of her, my family started family get together every December because it's a very big family and she must say her mind. If you don't give her room, she will scream down the whole building. She will tell you I matter because my mommy says so. And now it's not even me, it's because Anthony says so. So, it goes a long way. It is what you accept as the parents that will be dishing out to you, and that's what you will dish out. I see a child that sorry. I see a child that can learn. She knows color. This morning, as I just saw, despite sleeping, I went to their room to go and tell them bye. And she said, "Mommy, you are beautiful." I said, "Even in sleep, I know I'm beautiful since it's coming from you." She can describe it from head to toe. In school now, she's now the social prefect. She models, she's making money small. That's what we are using to maintain her. We are spending the money now. But the thing is, you can imagine my daughter, she appoints a PA to be telling her the assignments given. Yes. She, a new student just joined them, and my daughter makes sure that she bullied this boy to the point that the boy asked to respect her. She said, "Hello, I may be talking the way I'm talking, but I'm a princess. I am a royal princess. The way I walk doesn't define me. It's a royal princess. It's not everybody that God gives that to walk like that." So I do say it is what you tell your child that she will tell you. I go to mosque to talk. She's part of the society. When we first moved into our community, everybody was like, "Oh, look at this girl." And one day, I just pick a day, I went to their channel, like a place where everybody always gathers to look at us. And I kept telling them, "She's living with cerebral palsy. This is what it's called. It doesn't affect her intellectual. It doesn't affect her reason. And she's part of you. The only difference is the way she walks is called princess walk."
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that powerful narration about the Sola. Thank you so much, ma'am. So to wrap up the panel session, because time is fast spent, I'm going to be asking a very brief question. So in 30 seconds each, starting from Mr. Oni Ayonu, life after a diagnosis can be very tough, overwhelming.
All right.
These stories they sound motivating, they sound beautiful to hear, but it's not easy, right? So if you could just give every one of us here who have families or children with disabilities, or maybe just our own personal challenge, what would that advice be in just 30 seconds?
I'll first say every child is good at something. And the moment you begin to look at them, that they have potentials, they have the ability, the dignity, they are part of the society, you are giving them the voice that is needed. So always look at them that they are good at something at every point in time. Never look down on them. And at the end of the day, I was telling someone, I said, if you go to Facebook now or YouTube or whatever, if you type Ayoni, you won't see my name pop up. Put Anifa, put many of these people, the Kupis and many people, Toby, it will pop up. And they are affecting lives. In Lu, they are the CP many years ago, 20 years ago when I was in school. But I am now seeing it in effect, real at me. So I can only talk about CP because of you, and many of those kids you have at home there. Now I just only heard about another princess now there. So they are making the wave and they are giving life what it takes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Olu, as well, your advice to everyone.
Okay, my own advice to everyone is just like Naomi has said, the way you present your child is the way everybody will assess your child. See, I have a kind of parents whereby they're very, very strict when we're inside.
Strict.
Yeah, they're very strict. If you take me back well, you will see marks of change. Because I'm a very stubborn boy. But my dad growing up, my dad when we were outside, my dad would carry me. Basically, all the talent I can do today, all the things I can do today, I factor from my dad. I make shoes, I make bag, I make upholstery with decoration because my dad does it. I got a farmland. I have chicken I'm wearing, I have catfish, I have turkey. Because of my dad, I'm able to do things. Basically, engineering skills, I know how to fix wires together, how to repair things, electronics, mechanical. First time I hold a saw to cut a wood was my dad. He said you will do it and you do it. And I'm not even down to going to the market. Try to take me. After taking me the first time, second time, he will tell me, Bolu, bye bye.
Find your way.
He will tell me bye bye. Just yesterday, while I was coming from school for this event, I told myself, I want to challenge myself. I wore my sandbag on my leg, and I was like, okay, I want to take public transport,
Hey.
but I'm going to take it to 1.5 kg on my both legs. Yeah, let's go. It was very, very hard and difficult, but because of the background I already have, I knew I could handle it. And I did. I got home with the sandbag. I was very tired though. But I did it. I got home. I injured myself, yes, but I got home. I got home. That's all.
Thank you so much.
That's it. The way you train your child, the way you present your child, the way you sell your child to the world, that's the way they will accept that child. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Dario, your last person.
Thank you very much. I think I will take, as in, for the society, or for somebody who has a child with disability or for a person with disability, I think I'll take a reference from Through the Layers. Your account about having the school to get you to do your exam with computer, and it was like, I mean, ṣákọ nìyẹn àbí tí ẹ ṣe fẹ́ wá yàtọ̀ sí ìwọ wá ń béèrè kọ̀ǹpútà, you know. And I can imagine the attitude would have been, èèyàn ò sùn ajá ń horun.
Exactly.
That's the societal attitude. Let me give you a scenario. A person on wheelchair was heavily pregnant, and he got to the hospital. And the first thing, she was in labor, right? And the first thing the nurse realized that, I'm not kidding. It happened. You understand? It happened.
All the time.
You know, so I think, you know, the real challenge here is the culture, our culture to disability. And the advice I want us to see disability not as the weakest link in the society, but the link to the next level of a better humanity. Disability is the link to the next level of a better humanity. Disability is that mirror in our faces that we are not all as strong as the best among us. Agbani Darego, I don't know if that's still the model for beauty now. But you see, you may not have that perfect body of Agbani Darego, but you are beautiful all the same. In that time, it was like everybody in for exam, computer. And then there comes COVID.
Yes,
And
everybody has to use the computer.
Computer.
With or without disability.
With or without disability. So where are we? So that's buttress my point that disability, creating an inclusive society, is what links us to the next better level of humanity, not actually what draws us back. So the better, the sooner we start being more inclusive and providing making our environment conducive for disability, the better humanity will start to get. Because hey, even women, pregnant women, elderly people will find that ramp
very
more you understand, more convenient. And mind you, maybe you are now moving in or you are moving out, you are moving in heavy stuff or in and out. Those technicians will prefer that ramp because it makes their job easier.
The wheelchair ramp.
The wheelchair ramp. So it becomes more, convenience for everybody in the end. So don't forget, please, disability is not the burden that takes us back. Disability is that link that will take us to the next best of humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've now come to the end of the panel session. Thank you so much for being attentive. Thank you for your encouragement. Like you said, disability is not the end of humanity. It's not the weakness of humanity. It's what takes us to the next best level. Thank you so much. We've now come to the end of the panel session. And even if you don't have a disability, I hope some of what we've discussed here today, you are able to resonate with it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please, we hold the panelists to take have a group picture before they leave. And at this point, I would like to appreciate all our panelists. The Almighty God reward you abundantly. And likewise, I would also like to call our attention to something very important, like we have heard from the panelists. That is from Mr. Dairo, if I'm not mistaken, that a woman on a wheelchair, heavily pregnant, went to the hospital, and the next thing was, oh, who got you pregnant? So, so the point I'm just trying to make is that we should always seek caution in judging people. Don't always judge people. The moment you see them or whatever they do to you. And I had a practical experience, like 2 different experiences. I remember about 10 or close to 15 years ago, I was at a camping program and I was a worker on that camp and I wanted to give someone a note. And the sister was on the job, and the next thing is she stretched her left hand to me to receive that thing from me. And I was very angry. As good as this girl is, she has not learned that you collect something with your right hand, but I didn't show it. I kept quiet and I wrote a note and sent the note to the lady that you are a Yoruba lady and you are even a Muslim, and what I know is etiquette says you should take something with your right hand. But guess what? The lady wrote back to me, right hand, because hand is amputated. But I didn't know.
So now imagine me saying, voicing that anger out there. You could imagine what would have happened even to myself. So let's always seek caution in relating with people. Another day I went to a secondary school, and I met a boy who I felt, okay, let me give this boy, I couldn't remember, maybe money or something. And the boy also stretched out his left hand to collect the gift from me. And I was like, no, your right hand. Not until I noticed that the boy actually has issue with his right hand. So let's always seek caution when we are relating with people. Again, we want to appreciate the panelists for the job wonderfully well done.
We thank you so much, and may the Almighty God reward you abundantly. Let's have a round of applause for the finalists, please.
Thank you, my MC and my co-colleague, for thanking my panelists. I mean, my audience, my attentive audience, please, I need your attention. Please take your seat. I would like to ask you something. How was that? How was that panel session? I don't need to explain it. How was it? Did you feel the truth? Did you feel how realistic it was? I could see my doctor, Dr. Ayoluwa, saying, and we have to look for a way to sugarcoat it. Do you know I didn't get my diagnosis until I was 18? I was born with cerebral palsy, and it was from day one because I was born at 6 months instead of 9. But nobody told me anything. I was there wondering, they were carrying me from everywhere. Me, Nantubilova said she had to go to Gobi from a particular place. I will go to Gobi from Abuja. I used to travel with night bus. My mother, oh my God, she will carry her child with night bus from Abuja to Lagos with Gobi hospital those days, because that was the only place you could go. So thank you very much. Please take your seat. I would like us to have a little interview, please. Okay, all right, we move on to, I'm sure we have aroused your attention. We have talked about this book. We have done everything, and you want to hear from somebody who has actually read the pages of this book, who has a very honest and beautiful review about this masterpiece. Please permit me to invite our reviewer for today, Mrs. Dolapo Agbede. Thank you very much for that correction. Please, Mrs. Dolapo Agbede, please come on the stage and give your honest, beautiful review for today.
Please, decorum, please.
Please,
we are able to have the review. Review now.
Please take your seats. Please, my audience, I know you. Please take your seats. We know it's been a long day.
And mothers, please have your seats. Thank you. God bless you all.
Mrs. Dolapo is making our way to the stage to give us a powerful review. Please take your seats. We need your audience. Please indulge your audience, please. Thank you very much for taking your seats and being very attentive. We appreciate it. Please sit down. Mrs. Dolapo is ready for her speech.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi. I mean, I am so blessed with all the different stories that I'm hearing, and I can't wait to get the description of the princess walk so that I can adopt it sometime. But, so that, of course, royalty will come back to me in multiple ways. And then, what did we think of all the truths that we've heard so far today? Would you join me in giving a round of applause to everyone who has spoken so far? Thank you so much for all you have shared. But do you know who's going to deserve the biggest applause? Guess who? Guess who? No, it's every single one of you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being engaged, and thank you in advance for listening to me about the adventure called the book called, what's the title of the book? Okay, let's do this together very well. It is what? Then, what kind of thing? What kind of activity? A what? A journey. Or? Okay, you people, we're going to do this exam again. Are we ready? Are we ready? The book is called what? We want swaggy flow. We want what? Swaggy flow. So let's do it together again. The book is called of two disorders. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Life is a journey, isn't it? And every single one of us in this room have done some sort of journey in one way or other. Do we agree? Yes or yes? You see, there's no even option of no. Yes or yes? Yes. And in this book, how many of us know that we've gone through some adventures in our own lives? Yes or no? If you're going to talk about one adventure in your life, you can find one thing you're going to talk about, right? Yes or no? Abi, yes or no? Especially the ones that you like, but you might not want to tell everybody about. Because you know how it makes you feel so good, so powerful, so mindful, so aware of how amazing God made each and every one of us. But now I have the privilege to tell you about 21 adventures. How many adventures? 21 adventures. So for me, typically, the way I do my things is that when I've been asked to review a book, sometimes am I young dada, am I balance? Let's start to read the book so that am I the call to talk to them. Can we relate? Yes or no? But with this particular book, as usual, I ate well. I even kept extra food beside me. I was picking and putting things because sometimes that's the consolation when the book is hard to get through. It's typically to sit and I raise my legs with my back, like with pillows. Did you see that interruption in my flow? What are we going to do about her? As I was saying, what was last thing I said? The balancing with legs where straight, pillows where at the back, but still things to put in my mouth, right? So that the labor of going through reading the book was going to be easy, and actually I should enjoy at least one thing about it, right? But with this book, and by the way I read this book, I might not look it, but I cannot see any of you. By the way, that is what you came to come and stop me to come and see. Right? So I identify as a blind woman. 18 years ago, I lost my sight due to glaucoma. This is the thickness of glasses that I had. So that means I've been around opticians, ophthalmologists, optometrists, but I was never diagnosed. Nobody took my eye pressures. So by the time I finally had diagnosis, I mean, more than 99 point something of my sight was already gone. There was nothing to do. But as we gisting about me putting my legs in what direction? In what direction were my legs? On the couch, right? What was behind me? Pillows. And I kept things to put in my mouth, right? Yes or yes? Then I picked up the book. I read the book the way a blind person reads it because Anita had sent me a soft copy. So I had my earpiece in my ear. Then I was flipping through, reading this book. How did I say I was sitting first? Like this and like that, right? I did not know when one leg came down. Then the other one. Then there were some things I read in the books. I'm like, oh shit! How many adventures did I tell you are in this book? How many? 21. This O'Shea moment was in chapter 3. Adventure number 3. That was when my leg had come down and I'd gotten up O'Shea. There's another chapter. This chapter, that one, Lumi followed you with why? Because it was a chapter that captured so much. When your parents say no, even when society says something different. And I could relate. Because my dad, because again, I am one of the daddy's girls. So my dad, power engineer, my first degree is in engineering power systems. Then having done careers across telecom engineering, building infrastructure. Today we do social engineering, making every space count for everybody who's interested in getting to spaces, earning in 7 digits and above. Anyone who's interested, let's talk. 7 digits and above. And then again, as long as we want to participate, let's make it happen for everybody. Okay, so as a daddy's girl, hearing some of the accounts of Anifa being tired and fed up, and daddy will say no, or her leaving her frame or her support behind, and her popsy will catch her. and strap it back on. Because it reminded me of how my dad, even when most of the time you don't understand, but at least you knew. It's a flower, right? What is it? Help your blind people you up. But in the end, they knew what was better for me. The same way Anifa's dad did not give up. And there was another chapter when Google family that one Google family shaking me. Eja just saw what that one will matter. And it's the same way I kind of like feel a sense that everybody has shown up again today, right? Have you felt it? Siblings being others, everybody doing a great job. Please a round of applause to Anifa and her family. I've only touched on maybe like 5 out of the how many adventures? Then the adventure of going to school, of leaving home and going to school. That chapter, I'll leave you guys to find out because there is the part that's Oshefo. Then there are some other parts, the inner backstory that Anifa tells in such a powerful way. Then also the challenges when you think you are in a safe space, talking to someone who is in a position of authority, a mature person, who should know better, but in the end, they weaponize that and deprive you. Have any of us experienced something like that? Yes or no? Yeah, you don't even need to have a disability to have that. But again, learning the price we pay as persons with disabilities when safe spaces are abused by the people we should be safest with, when they take information given to them in confidence to support us and they use it to remove our opportunities. The outrage I felt by them. Before I said my leg had come down, right? And I've done the whole share dance, right? And then by the time we followed me, we had a lot of hope by me. By then I was walking up and down with I was pacing. Then the balance. Yes! Join me and say that together. Yes! Yes, what did I read in that particular chapter? It was about how she settled down a bit and now she was now showcasing and telling her stories. Remember that, is it Bashira that said that she walked into Anifa's room and saw awards? Yeah, it was Bashira, right? Those awards, where they started coming from, the backstory to the main thing that brought those awards that were now gathered in that room. There is a chapter around it everything. But even you would think that for a person who's this accomplished, you would think things should just be easy. Have you ever seen now? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's not that way. Because again, our young lady has aspirations and keep applying for things and disappointments still come as this young adult. So all the support is there, accolade is there, evidence of excellence is there, but you still get no's. And how that can be so demoralizing sometimes in that moment. Did you see what I did there? That's why I was now doing, but I was still standing. That's taking us towards adventure number 16. Adventure number what? 16. But then I kept on turning the pages on what was now being more available for her. Her discovering herself, her deciding to write. By the way, fun fact, guess what year I met Anifa? Any guesses? It's in the 2020s, so it was after COVID. Any guess where? Wait. Which way do I turn? This side. What do you think? No, me. Someone I feel like said here, but I'm 2023. 2021. Two. What month? Out of 12 months. Guess. No. February 2022. Guess where I met her? Because this bitch don't sit in one place. But also me too. Do I sit in one place? So we met at a Toastmasters event. A friend invited me, and Anifa was there. And for me, I just came to listen, I just mind all over the place. And then, of course, right now, my amazing colleague brought me up without my cane, but that day I went with him and had my cane with me. So people are confused, like, when you're wearing glasses and you cannot see. Should be medicated glasses, calling you, don't join you, you know? So I spoke a bit about how I chose to keep my glasses instead of wearing dark shades so that I could tell the story. So people could do better about taking care of themselves with glaucoma. But this is not about me. Back to Anifa. She approached me after. Hello. I was like, hi. She was like, oh, I have an impairment too. I'm like, oh, really?
She's moving now.
She was like, oh, but you sound nice too. Sound like the most new persons with disabilities sound nice. And she knew this man. From that time, we kept in touch. But up till very recently, Anifa has continued to show her resilience, participating in the intensive stuff that is going to reshape how we do disability inclusion in Nigeria. But that is not really the story. The point was this young, amazing, vibrant, supported woman goes around telling her stories, being undeniable. And in chapter 16, you see, no, not 16, chapter 19, you see snippets of that. Some of Anifa's waka about the different places where she's made so much sense will be part of. In how many adventures did I say were there? 21. You'll catch snippets of them all over in that. But I call attention to chapter 19. But as
I went to an inclusive school, but I never saw anyone like me, right? I struggled to write, and for a very long time, it felt like a punishment when I would ask them for support, like maybe a laptop to type, and they would say it's not available. You have to learn how to adapt the system. But there's another part of my story that people don't get to see, and I was my 300 levels when I began experiencing strange, worrisome symptoms. It wasn't physical this time around. It was obsessive thoughts, scary thoughts that I couldn't control or explain. The thoughts will suggest different things. And they are fine. Everybody may have negative thoughts, but we learn how to push it aside. But these ones are not mere negative thoughts. They were intrusive thoughts that kept on coming every time. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be sweating. I'll be soaked in tears, in sweat, right? The thought to suggest different scary things like harm yourself, harm a loved one. It's take well, or even sign attendance in class. For a while, I forgot why I was even in school. I was like a living corpse. I wake up in the middle of the night, shivering, my heart racing. And another scary thing about this symptom is that, okay, so OCD, well, if you've never experienced it, it may be quite difficult to understand, but I'll try to explain. It's like you're having intrusive thoughts in your head, telling you to do a particular thing. You know you're not going to do it, you know it's not right, but the thoughts keep coming, and that thought causes anxiety. For example, if I didn't press a particular number in my phone, like 5, 10 times, for example, 5 or 2, if I didn't press it a number of times, it means my entire family will die or something will happen to me. So it's irrational, illogical, listening to it, even at that day, it didn't make sense to me, right? If I entered the cab, I would start to feel so tense, like I'm going to have an accident and it's going to happen, right? These thoughts may not sound reasonable, they may not make sense. At that time, they didn't make sense to me either. But I lived with extreme, when I say extreme anxiety, I was not bold enough to tell anyone. How will I tell someone or my dad that I'm having thoughts to go naked on the street? It's hard to say that out. I felt scared, lost, confused. I felt scared, lost, confused until I met a psychiatrist, Dr. Obaju Wasiu. if he's watching online, good afternoon, sir, who looked at me with calm eyes and said to me, and if you're not crazy, what you're battling with is a mental health condition called obsessive compulsive disorder, and it can be managed. That was the day I learned that physical health is just as important as mental health, whether we like it or not. For now, cerebral palsy, the video you watch, what I had when I was small, what I still have, and obsessive compulsive disorder, they have no cure, where it can be managed. They have no cure, but they didn't stop me from earning a bachelor's degree at the 19 from Where University. They didn't stop me from earning an associate degree in Islamic psychology from the International Open University. It didn't stop me from having a postgraduate diploma from University of Lagos at the age of 22. This diagnosis hasn't stopped me from speaking to thousands of global stages where I thought I would, Irumi Gonawambi. So, global stages like BBC, TEDx, sharing words of hope, courage, and encouragement to other people. They haven't stopped me from being seen or celebrated, from receiving the Inclusive African Icon Award in Nairobi, Kenya, to the 2525 Future Forward TV Award, and winning the Week Award storytelling competition partnered by Mastercard Foundation. Cerebral palsy hasn't stopped me from guiding other young people on how to overcome stage fright. It hasn't stopped me from authoring my first book in 2021. I actually have a book before this, but I wasn't confident enough to show it to the world. It was just an ebook, and I belittled the work. It's not physical. I don't have the money yet. So whenever people ask me, I say this is my first official book, but I've written one before. So I hope hasn't stopped me from giving back, from facilitating therapy sessions, supporting beautiful children with cerebral palsy, and counseling parents who feel scared, confused, and lost. And even now, as a 23-year-old woman, cerebral palsy will not stop me. It will stop me from achieving my biggest dreams, to rise to the highest level of the field of clinical psychology. Okay, so a little story. I was initially admitted for physiotherapy in Bowen, but along the line, I had to change course to microbiology. The rigor and everything, generally made me fail the course. And it wasn't inclusive enough. I couldn't type and do all of those things. So I failed the course and I had to leave the department. But after graduating, I discovered that my strength actually lies in clinical psychology, finding solutions to the mental health problems that we have in Nigeria. My diagnosis has not stopped me, they've only shaped me. And they told me that strength isn't about walking perfectly. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's not about sounding perfectly. It's not about looking perfectly. It's about rising faithfully. So when people see me, I don't want them to see disability or a shaky voice or a shaky hand. I want them to see possibility. I want you to see possibility no matter the challenge you are going through. Because disability is not inability. It means finding ability in a different way. And if you ever doubt what is possible, I'm an example. I'm standing here as a living proof that limitation can birth greatness. This book was born out of my own desire to tell what life feels, my life about two disorders in Nigeria, what it feels like. So the book is like a companion. It takes you through chapter 1, 2, 3, up until 21. So 21 chapters may sound like a lot, but it is not. When you pick up this book to start reading, you won't want to drop it. I promise you. So, while writing, there were moments I almost felt like giving up, but I said to myself, you better go back to work. This book is not about you, so you need to go back to work. It's about people going through invisible battles, mental health challenges, disabilities, the awareness you want to build or create. And I pray that every chapter in this book reminds you that even when life feels heavy, even being in Nigeria alone feels heavy, being a woman feels heavy. There are different challenges. You have a disability or not, you have one challenge or the other. So I want to tell you that I hope this book reminds you that even when life feels heavy, you can still rise courageously. And to every parent, guardian, teacher raising a child with a disability, I see you. Honestly, it's not easy. The sleepless night, fears, the countless hospital visits. Um, Anytime maybe my dad does something to me, to hurt me or something, I just remember the countless hospital visits. 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Bobby, I'll be like, no, I can't fight with this man. I need to keep honoring him and respecting him for always being there with me. You will tell me, you will say, Anifa, look, everybody has come here today to celebrate with you. And share the whole people are coming. Or people will come and they will go. You'll be the only one with yourself. So you need to learn how to be independent. You need to learn how to be independent. Even your siblings can betray you. That's exactly what's that. You need to learn how to be independent. That's fair. You will say that to me almost every time when trying to wear my braces, my back brace. And I'll be like, what is wrong with this now? Who broke his heart? Like, got into fixing this thing over and over again. And he'll tell me that's how life is. You are living the disability. And so people will still break your heart. You need to find a way how to survive, regardless of anyone be with you or not. Thank you so much, sir. And my mom, of course. Please always tell us when I show my dad alone. And I assure you that every donation you make today, every gift, every purchase that you make isn't exclusively for me. I made that decision. It goes into a vision that supports the therapy fees of children with disabilities. And for everyone here today, my friends, my family, Wasila, my PA for today, this guy has been the one on social media shouting about to the layers. Sister Nima from TBC, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mommy, that would be prepared. She doesn't like public display, but thank you so much. I don't just know how to say this speech without thanking you. My classmates from Unvieling postgraduate diploma, thank you so much for being here. My siblings, even with the shout and the overwhelm, thank you so much. Sister Zainab, thank you so much. Zainab Muhammad, thank you so much. This woman has, when I was in 300 level, she was in 300 level. I met her in the class and I was trying to go and get something to eat, so I met her. And even if Zainab doesn't have the perfect words to suit you, she has always been there for me. She's someone that I can just call and ask Zainab, I need this thing. We are not family members, but she's someone that has stood by me. Sister Latifa as well. She has told her supervisor, there are 2 supervisors in school. Sister Latifa is not in the book, you must come. Thank you so much. And Emily as well. Emily from Canada is not here today, he's a Canadian. Emily, he also lives with obsessive compulsive disorder and autism. This man doesn't know me from anywhere, but he just saw my scattered draft and said, you know what, Anifa, my health is also unpredictable. I may have crisis, but till the day you launch this book, I'll be there. There's 7 hours between Canada and Nigeria, I think, but I would set an alarm and I'll watch you live. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you so much to all my family members for being here. This is everybody, the panelists, everybody for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Auntie Toby, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you. I feel like if I continue this thing, I'll just keep on saying thank you. Well, thank you. I wish you could see my heart. Thank you so much. Daddy, thank you so much for believing in this dream and supporting me this far. My prof, Professor Kenny, thank you so much. And I pray that as you go back to your home, God sees everyone back home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful presentation by our author. We really appreciate your effort. Before we continue, I would like to quickly recognize some dignitaries that have joined us, whether online or physically. And I will start with Mr. Olalere Olaniran, Mr. Ismail Adebite, Mr. Adedayo Mijuan. Okay, I've introduced him earlier. Ajia Mutia Tolagoke, CEO of Igres Media. Ajia Sherifat Ajibade, Ajia Nima Akasha Zibiri, that is co-host on TVC daytime show, Your View. Ajia Daudu Fifelomo, Ibrahim Ajani Dapo, Taiwo Kuye, Senior Manager, Accounting and Advisory Service, KPMG. Ajia Rashida Okwiri, CEO, Speak Up Academy, Imam Abdulrazak Ajibade, Ajia Rahman Odaudua, Ajia Aziza Gidigbi, Mr. Olawale Dada, CEO, Forward Homes, Rashid Abubakar, founder, Muslim News, Ajia Fadila, that is Umuromla, Dr. Zainab Mohammed, and Ajia Latifa Ibrahim. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your presence. Barrister Folusha Liaso, also appreciated. That is Super Parent Foundation, the president of Super Parent Foundation. We appreciate you all for your presence and your support. May the Almighty God reward you abundantly. Amen. Now we are at the verge, towards the end of the program, and this is the reason why we are all here, and that is the unveiling and official launching of the book, and that is Through the Layers, A Journey with Two Disorders by Anifat Sadhu.
I'd like to say something before we officially move into the unveiling. Before I read this book, I used to say a lot, even online, that disability, even with disability, does not have a manual. It only has a fighting spirit. You just have to live with it like that. But when I read through the layers, as I was opening the pages, I was seeing the manual. And if I used her life to teach me how to live with CP better, I read the book and each page was just teaching me a lesson, teaching me resilience, teaching me practical ways of how to cope with this. And then when I got to chapter 15, it was action film. I could say that I was watching action film. I sat down in front of my system and I was like, anybody, it was beautiful. You need to read this book. We are about to move into the unveiling. We are about to unveil this masterpiece. Hold on, fasten your seatbelts. Get ready for the unveiling.
Thank you so much, Basia. Thank you so much. So now we want to unveil and launch the book, and I think to a very large extent, the book is already unveiled over there. You can all view the copies of the book displayed on the table, and the book is, we have to launch it first. So I have a list of launchers with me here, and I'm going to record it in no particular order. And I also want to implore every launcher I have called to please launch this book awesomely, knowing fully well that whatever amount you are launching this book with is like you are investing in some people's future. You are investing in some families. Like Anifa remarked the other time, that whatever is realized from this launching is also going to help in funding the therapy for some disability, for some people with disability. So I think that is that's what it is. So there's no amount you could invest in this that is too much. I won't be surprised, and I even want someone to wonder why would I call Alifa's dad to come and launch our daughter's book. But don't worry, that is Professor Akiniyi. That's the fact that I was referring to. Am I right, sir? You can step forward, sir. Don't be confused. Our professor is also the CEO and president of Tidacom. So we expect millions from our daddy.
Well, I'll be. Actually, my mindset was 100,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Our daddy has launched the book with 100,000 naira. So we pray the Almighty God replenish your purse. I would also like to call on Ambassador Ahmed Shuhaib, if he's here with us. Okay, I think she's standing in for Ambassador Ahmed Shuhaib.
Yeah, I'm standing in for Ambassador Shuhaib. I would have loved to say 200,000, but I'll say 250,000.
Thank you so much. It took 50,000 from Ambassador Ahmed Shuhaib. Now, the next is Lieutenant Colonel D.S. Yakubu. I guess is him. Okay, is represented.
On behalf of our commandants and the students of Commando Secondary School Oshodi, we are launching the book with a sum of 100,000. 5 copies of the book.
Yep, 5 copies of the book for 100,000 naira. Thank you so much. You are really appreciated. And the next is the former director of finance, that is WAEC, and that is in person of Mr. Somi Fakiyesi.
Thank you very much. Please, I want to also clear this. I'm representing our village, Ekiti. They are from Ekiti. Some people knew that they are from Kwara State, but we know that we are from Ekiti. And I'm very, very sure that the late Ambassador will be very, very happy in the grave today. And Mama Radia will also be very, very happy today. I'm mentioning the name of people that we also know ourselves from the village. We know ourselves right from the roots. Therefore, on behalf of the KBSC of Ekiti, and on behalf of my family, and you know my family very, very well, I appreciate what you are doing today, and I congratulate. On behalf of myself, I'm launching the book for 100,000.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of my father, his family, and the people of Ekiti, 100,000 naira. Thank you, sir. Brother Nasrullah Oni, it's your turn. He's not here. Okay. And then Engineer Sulaiman Adesina. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of myself and my family, I wish to launch this book, copy of this for 100,000.
Thank you so much, sir. 2 copies of this wonderful book for 100,000 naira from Engineer Sulaiman Adesina. Mr. Kola Fashola, the principal partner, Cerebral Limited. Mr. Kola Fashola, is he on site? No? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, congratulations. Sorry, pick two.
Thank you so much, sir. 2 copies for 100,000 naira, Mr. Paula Fashola. Yes, Mr. Jisu Kamor has stepped out. So then we have Mrs. Joko Daudu Omotola, the National President, Association for Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities in Nigeria. Is she with us? Mrs. Joko? Yes.
Right. Everyone, she's not here presently. Perhaps the chairperson representing her in this occasion from Association of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities of Nigeria. We launched that book for 25,000 naira.
25,000 naira. Thank you so much. Mrs. Joko Daudu Omotola, 25,000 naira. So if you also want to get the book, we have them available here, so you can get them after this time out, by God's grace. So then we have Mr. Akim Adiremi. Mr. Akim Adiremi.
On behalf of myself, our family, I would love to sum of 50,000 naira.
Thank you, sir. 50,000 naira from Engineer Akim Adiremi. Engineer Abubakar Sadiq Yahaya, Chairman, MRL Foods and House 36 Investments Limited. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an opportunity to be here, and I'm quite inspired by the book through the layers. It is indeed an inspiration and a source of strength for those that are not even here to talk about their situation. On behalf of myself, my family, and our companies, I buy 2 copies for 100,000.
Thank you so much, sir. 2 copies for 800,000 naira. Then the next is Mrs. Dotun Akonde. Mrs. Dotun Akonde, is she on site? No.
She said it's your text now. Alright.
Then we have Mobolaji Abubakar Ogunlende, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, represented by Faida Adeola Adediran, Ifeja Divisional Youth Ambassador.
It's at the back.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Honorable Commissioner, we're going to be donating 100,000 naira.
Thank you. Thank you. 100,000 naira from Honorable Mobolaji Abubakar Ogunlende. So then I have also been informed that Boma Intellectual Academy, an education consultancy that registers students for UPEP, has also agreed to launch this wonderful book for 50,000 naira. So now I think I've exhausted my list, but I can see beautiful faces in this hall. So I want individuals seated here right now who would also signal to me, and I'll bring the mic to them and they will launch this beautiful book. Volunteers, I've exhausted my book, but I believe we have wonderful people here. Thank you, ma, for not disappointing me. A round of applause for our mother.
On behalf of me and my family, I want to 2 books for 30,000.
Thank you so much, ma. Mrs. Adenike, 2 copies for 30,000 naira. Another, they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. I think I'm becoming to believe that.
Mr. Bakar, see your brother post in the United I'm launching the book, just a piece for 20,000.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bakari, 20,000 naira. Mrs. Adenike, 2 copies for 30,000 naira. A copy for Mr. Bakari for 20,000 naira. Another, sorry, we have another wonderful lecture at the back here. Sorry, a copy of the book for those who want to get it after this time out is 7,500 naira.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to launch the book with a sum of 20,000 naira on behalf of Cerebral Palsy Society of Nigeria, whom Alifa is also a member. Thank you. Active member.
Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of myself, I'm going to vote for the sum of 25,000 naira.
Mr. Olaiwola for 25,000 naira. Olaiwola, yes. Now, okay, we have another wonderful mother over there.
On behalf of my husband, Engineer Fine Olajide, and the rest of the family, we want to launch the book with 100,000 naira.
Thank you so much. On behalf of our family, that is the family of Engineer Fine Olajide, our mother, is launching the book for 100,000 naira. I need another wonderful launcher. Anyone I have called earlier, not around and she's around now, please allow me. So that is Mr. Taiwo here. He's launching a copy with 25,000 naira.
So I want to round up this session, and I don't want anyone to accuse me of not inviting them to launch this wonderful book. Okay. So again, like I mentioned the other time, BIA, that is Boma Intellectual Academy, is launching the book for 50,000 naira, and that is they deal with students registration for prepared. Boma Intellectual Academy. Thank you so much. So, at this point, I would like to appreciate everyone present here today and everyone who has also launched this book. I was also informed that a few persons have launched the book as well before now, so we also appreciate them. Again, I appreciate you all and I wish you all success in your endeavors. Thank you so much. So now, the next on our agenda is book signing. And so we have the book signing and autograph now. And that implies that we draw the curtain of this program here with a vote of thanks that is going to be done by Alhaj Ibrahim Sadu. That is the wonderful father. So I have the privilege and honor to invite him to the podium once again to give the vote of thanks. Alhaj Ibrahim Sadu. All right. So our father is delegating that task to Engineer Sulaiman Adeshina. Engineer Sulaiman Adeshina should please come forward to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very honored to be here. In fact, I'm not planned for this. Thank you, Daddy and Eva. I'm very grateful. Let me just make a speech. Anifa is a special person to me. I always remember his birthday. One thing, Anifa and my second daughter are born the same day. And honestly, I don't even know who are who among them. I could remember that very year that I tried to watch of this, and the secretary told me that I didn't come because this one have a baby. I said my baby. So let's go to the results. I'm very grateful to everyone that comes for this occasion. And honestly, I want to pray that the Almighty Allah guide everyone back to his destiny, and all the donors, people that donate, the Almighty God replenish your pocket. And I pray that this book will not be limited to this country, to be go viral. And I pray that everyone of God, Almighty Allah, will pay us in our life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, and I think by this, we bring this program to an end, and we pray that Almighty God. So please, let's wait and take copies of the books for the launchers. And for those who want to purchase the books at the rate of 7,500 naira, please, you can also wait. you can either pay in cash or by transfer. So you can get a copy of the book here. So thank you so much. We destination and that of success in our endeavors.
Who's so you take shot.
You can also give us cash for your launching event transfer.
You guys, Usman,
So please, for our launchers, you can transfer to this account. That is Stanley Bank, Alifa Sadu, 006987. Alternatively, you can also pick up the details at the registration point here. Again, 0069870036. Stanley Bank.
Camera down. Let me go to the camera. How are you? How are you? How's everything?
Everything alright.
Zoom. Now, what is me? I'm not going to put out short. The light is too much again. See the light. I don't know what to Before your camera. Increase is not there. Increase is not there. Increase more because more because it's a cut now. Ọkàn gbónú ṣọ́ọ̀tì ẹ̀ ni.